Hi guys, welcome to today's video. This is over estimating square roots. So there's only 3 you were supposed to do here. So what are the two whole numbers closest to the square root of 162? Now if you put the square root of 162 in a calculator, it gives you not a whole number. So we're going to estimate like we did in class. Now I was just over here writing the two closest perfect squares that 162 is in between is the square root of 144, which is 12, and the square root of 169, which is 13. So that means that the square root of 162 is going to fall between these two numbers. So the square root of 162 is going to be somewhere between 12 and 13. So just between 12 and 13. Okay, number 3, and you guys can definitely, you should be using your list and your notes of the first 20 perfect squares to do this, okay, because you need to memorize those anyway. So the square root of 74, the two perfect squares that the square root of 74 falls between is the square root, I believe, of 64 and the square root of 81. So the square root of 64 and the square root of 81, 74 falls between those, square root of 74. So that means that square root of 74 falls between the number, square root of 64 is 8 and 81 is 9, so between 8 and 9. Okay, number 5, the square root of 60. So the square root of 60 is going to be in between, I don't have my list in front of me, the square root of 49 and the square root of 64. So the square root of 60, the square root of 60 is going to go in between the square root of 49 and the square root of 64. And we know that this number, square root of 49, is 7, and this number is 8. So those are the whole numbers. So it's between 7 and 8. Number 8, 11, and 12 were some throwback questions. For 8, it was an equation. So you draw your line, put your variables here and your constants here. Variable term is 3x. Constant term is negative 18, but make it positive, and 42. So you get 3x equals 60. And divide. And you get x equals 20 for that one. Okay? Now, well, we didn't do number 9. Number 11. 6 to the second power times 6 to the third power. Remember, when you multiply exponents, you add the powers. So 6 to the second power is 6 times 6. 6 to the third power is 6 times 6 times 6. So all of that multiplied together is 6 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th power. That should be your answer. You could have got the same thing if you just did 2 plus 3, 5. Okay, and then remember, when you divide 8 to the 12th power divided by 8 to the 7th power, remember 8 to the 12th power is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's 8 to the 7th power. And then they cancel out. And you're left with 8 to the 5th power. You could have got the same thing if you subtracted the exponents. 12 minus 7 is 5, so 8 to the 5th power. Alright guys, that was a very quick video because that was a very small and short homework, and a lot of you guys finished it in class anyway. So I will see you tomorrow.